Hello students, welcome to the lecture on report writing, and after this lecture we will be able to learn the following objectives. Explain about report writing, describe the report planning and process, and describe about guidelines and technicalities of report writing. Let us start with what is a report. The word report has originated from the French words reporter and report and Latin re, back, plus portere, to carry. All these words mean give an account. Report thus means to give people information about something that we have heard, seen, done, etc. A report aims to inform as clearly and succinctly as possible. It should be easy to read and professional in its presentation. A report can be defined as a testimonial or account of some happening. It is purely based on observation and analysis. They are a strong base for planning and control in an organization. For writing an effective report, the following points must be kept in mind. Determine the objective of the report. Collect the required material, facts for the report. Study and examine the facts gathered. Plan the facts for the report, prepare an outline for the report, that is, draft the report, edit the drafted report, distribute the draft report to the advisory team, and ask for feedback and recommendations. The essentials of good, effective report writing are as follows. Know our objective, be focused, analyze the niche audience or the target audience. Decide the length of report. Disclose correct and true information in a report. Discuss all sides of the problem reasonably and impartially. Concentrate on the report's structure and matter. The report should be neatly presented and carefully documented. Highlight and recap the main message in a report. Encourage feedback on the report from the critics. Use graphs, pie charts, etc. to show the numerical data records over years. Decide on the margins on a report. Attempt to generate readers' interest by making appropriate paragraphs, giving bold headings for each paragraph, etc. Features or characteristics of reports. Complete and compact document. Report is a complete and compact written document giving updated information about a specific problem. Systematic presentation of facts. Report is a systematic presentation of facts, figures, conclusions, and recommendations. Prepared in writing. Reports are usually in writing. Writing reports are useful for reference purpose. Provides information and guidance. Report is a valuable document which gives information and guidance to the management while framing future policies. It facilitates planning and decision making. Self-explanatory document. Report is a comprehensive document and covers all aspects of the subject matter of study. Acts as a tool of internal communication. Report is an effective tool of communication between top executives and subordinate staff working in an organization. Acts as permanent record. A report serves as a permanent record relating to certain business matter. It is useful for future reference and guidance. Time-consuming and costly activity. Report writing is a time-consuming, lengthy and costly activity as it involves collection of facts, drawing conclusion and making recommendations. Types of reports. There are basically two categories of reports, that are business reports and academic reports. Let us know about them in detail. Business report. A business report is a standard form of business communication that combines qualitative and quantitative information in a logical format, serving as critical corporate documentation. Business reports perform the following functions. Assess business performance, provide a quick status check, and monitor progress towards the strategic goals of the business. Summarize key business indicators by presenting them graphically. Use statistics to present key business metrics, access data online or offline through various means of communication. Purpose of business reports. A business report conveys information to assist in business decision making. In generating a business report, the following steps should be considered. Determine the scope of the report. When we choose a focus for a report, one of the first steps is to narrow the scope to a report length. It is critical that a chain of continuity in argument and evidence can be demonstrated between the purpose of the report, the research, and ultimately the solutions, findings, or recommendations. Consider the target audience. The following target audience characteristics should be considered. Their need for the report, that is, finance approval, operational planning, resource allocation, education level, position in the organization, knowledge of the report's topic, responsibility or authority to make decisions based on the report, and personal demographics. Audiences are basically of three kinds. Primary audience, people who have to make decisions on the basis of the business report. Secondary audience, people who are affected by the actions. Immediate audience, people responsible for examining the business report, weighing its viability, and distributing the report to a broader audience. Gather and organize the supporting information. It is important to explain the procedures or methods that were used in the research process. This supports the data's credibility and in turn allows the decision makers to weigh the significance of the market information. Also, it is critical to generate a methodology on how to record and organize the information. Analyze and weigh the supporting information. The purpose of the analysis is to make reasoned sense of the information that has been gathered. The findings of the analysis need to be balanced, justifiable, and where possible, quantifiable. The relationship between the data collected, their credibility, and the resulting analysis will directly relate to the weight of evidence. Determine the solution, findings, and/or recommendations. The business analysis, solutions, findings, and recommendations provide a critique of information that will support communication concerning the viability of the proposed business in order to facilitate capital rising. So, it is important to determine the solutions and recommendations. Determine the report format. Before actually writing, organize our information into an outline form. A report could be presented as a memo report, a standardized form report, or a formal report. Business report will have the following 5 steps. Provide identifying information, define the project or problem, give the background, give the supporting data, state the conclusions and recommendations. Elements of effective business report writing. In presenting information, an effective business report should be accurate and objective. Accurate. Accuracy in a business report includes accuracy of information and accuracy of writing. The accuracy of any report depends upon the correctness of the data that was gathered to prepare it. The accuracy of writing depends on accuracy in writing mechanics, spelling, punctuation, and grammar, and accuracy in writing style. Objective. In writing, objectivity means presenting material free from personal feelings or prejudice. This can be easily achieved by keeping the following in mind. Make a distinction between facts and opinions. Report all pertinent information. Use bias-free language. Use impersonal style. Use graphics in business reports. The importance of graphics. Graphics today form part of any standard business report as they are clearer than text. Some of the more common graphics that we can include are tables, pie charts, line charts, bar charts, organizational charts, and others, pictograms, maps, photographs, timelines, flowcharts, etc. Academic report. Successful report writing, just like any other academic writing assignment, requires professionalism, in-depth knowledge of the subject discussed, concentration, exceptional writing skills. Some common errors. Let us know some common errors that should be avoided while writing academic reports. Long sentences. Students commonly write very long sentences just to fill the paper or to express knowledge on the paper. Spelling errors. In academic report writing, it is important to proofread the paper and be sure that it is free from spelling errors. Homonyms. This is another thing that we should watch out for in academic report writing because our sentence might convey another meaning. Format. This is important in academic report writing because this is where we can get an idea on how to cite references, what to write in the headings, and how to write bibliography correctly. Fluffs. In academic report writing, instead of elongating the paragraphs with fluffs, research for more facts that can include paper. Writing a report, guidelines. Writing a report is not a difficult process if one does it in a planned way. Let us learn how to write effective reports through a video.
The first step in writing a get-to-the-point report is to understand what type of report you are writing. While reports can have many names, basically they fall into 6 categories. The incident report examines an incident, such as an accident or an error, in order to record what happened, determine causes, explain effects, and perhaps also to offer solutions. The periodic report provides information at regular intervals, weekly, monthly, quarterly, and so on, in order to keep track of work and plan for the future. The investigative report provides the results of research and testing procedures. The progress report provides details on how a project is going and what needs to be done. The trip or call report shares the results of activities or contacts outside the company. And the major report explores a serious issue of long-term concern to an organization. Once you understand what type of report you are writing, you can start working on your report through pre-writing. First, think about your purpose. What is your report supposed to accomplish? What measurable outcome is your target? Second, analyze your readers. Why do they need this report? How will they use it? What do they already know about the topic? What do they need to know? Third, consider the big picture. Why is this report important to your organization? Besides your primary readers, who else might see it? What are potential ripple effects? Fourth, do the research that will get you accurate facts. Check databases and files, consult people, use a business library, and go to reliable web resources. Fifth, analyze the data to make sense of it. Run and interpret the numbers, examine the evidence, and make connections. Sixth, outline your report. Use a template from a past report or follow a model. Think through ways of logically ordering the report. Once you've done sufficient pre-writing, you're ready to work on your report's first draft. With a good model or template, you can proceed by drafting various parts of the report in an order that feels comfortable. In other words, you don't have to start with the opening. However, here are some tips for writing the opening, the middle, and the closing. In the opening, put the report in perspective. First, label it with identifying information, including a title or subject line that specifies the type of report plus the specific topic. Second, introduce the purpose, provide background, and preview the report's coverage. Third, to be direct, Include a summary of your report's main points, conclusions, and recommendations. In the middle, supply and explain all the information that your readers need. The key here is to carefully organize all your data using one or more logical patterns. Choose an order that makes sense of the information for readers. Consider time, space location, order of importance, categories, alphabetical order, cause-effect, compare-contrast, or hypothesis testing. Notice how in this sample incident report, the writer uses both chronological and cause-effect patterning. Whatever organizational patterns you use, make sure that you make the information accessible by using headings, lists, tables, and graphics. For most reports, you'll put the key points in the opening summary. However, you'll also want to include them, perhaps in greater depth, in your report's closing. If your report is purely informative, simply summarize the main points that the reader needs. If you need to be analytical, add your conclusions about the topic. And if your report is persuasive, you may also need to add your recommendations. Whatever you provide in your closing, remember to also focus politely on the next step. Feedback, a follow-up meeting, the next report, continued work on the project, and so on. In this sample incident report, note that the closing focuses on recommendations and requests feedback. Once you have drafted your report, it's time to step back and ask what needs to be done to strengthen the ideas, the organization, and the voice. In other words, it's time to revise, to add, to cut, and to rewrite. As you work through a printed version of your report, ask yourself these questions. First, are the ideas strong? Is the information complete and correct? Is the thinking solid? Do the conclusions and recommendations follow logically from the information? Where thinking is weak, rework it. Second, does the organization make sense? And is it consistent? If the flow is confusing, untangle it. Add summaries and transitions where helpful. Third, is the tone of your writing objective and professional, but energetic? It's time to refine your writing by carefully examining word choice, sentence style, grammar, punctuation, and design. Pay attention especially to these issues. First, have you used terminology appropriate to the audience? Have you used plain English whenever possible? Have you defined technical terms unfamiliar to the reader? Second, are your sentences crisp and readable? Read aloud your report to locate and fix choppy, confusing, and rambling sentences. Examine parallel structure in headings and lists. Consider as well whether you can tighten your sentences by using a telegraphic style, which is appropriate to some reports. This style cuts unnecessary personal pronouns, especially as subjects, and provides tight clauses with strong verbs, as well as extensive lists. Third, use grammar check and spell check on your report, but also do your own check of grammar, punctuation, usage, mechanics, and spelling. Be especially careful that you have used keywords and numbers correctly. Finally, refine your report's design. Does the report have lots of white space? A consistent heading system? Well-designed and well-integrated graphics? Pre-writing, drafting, revising, and refining. These steps will carry you through the challenge of developing a get-to-the-point, reader-friendly report.
Summary. Now in the end, let us summarize what we have learnt in this lecture. Report writing is an essential skill for professionals in almost every field. accountants, teachers, graphic designers, information scientists. A report gives an explanation of any circumstance. Report is a self-explanatory statement of facts relating to a specific subject and serves the purpose of providing information for decision-making and follow-up actions. Business reports present information-based views of the enterprise to appropriate audiences and can be automatically individualized for each user. The business report is the medium in which to present this information. Report writing is the result of our researches, analysis, and investigations which we present in a written form. Academic report writing is a part of a student's life, and there are times that a student's report has too many minor and avoidable mistakes.